Hey everyone, it's Jay here, just doing my daily update, and I am going to be talking about how doing carnivore diet was extremely beneficial to my ADHD. It's something I only recently discovered as an adult. For a few years ago, everyone's always been like, "Oh, dude, I think you've got ADHD," but I never really did any further digging on that. Whilst I've been someone who's basically managed my life with it without being aware of it, I do recognize that it has impeded in certain ways in life, not dramatically. I work in a creative industry. It's helped there. I've always worked well with people who are good at project managing, because that is what technically keeps me in line and keeps me in task. But what I wanted to add is how well carnivore has actually helped with my ADHD. It's interesting, the way I think about it is it's less about the mental clarity, but more around the way that the ADHD brain works around dopamine and triggers and whatnot. The biggest part of it was how I moved from someone who was addicted to food, running on this dopamine cycle of getting on food, snacking, looking for more food for those dopamine hits. And that really messed with my focus. It was something that was rather distracting. So through the process of going carnivore, it's really allowed me to get control of my cravings and really silencing the noise in the back of my head, which was continuously on the search for those triggers for the dopamine and getting those spikes in enjoyment. So from that perspective, it's been something that's really helped me get control of my focus, get control of my horrible cycle of dopamine and dopamine hitting, and put me into a place where I feel like I've got the greatest focus I've ever had. No, it hasn't cured my ADHD. That would be an odd thing to do, but it's definitely silenced the constant thoughts of I was a very anxious person as well attached to that. My anxiety levels are probably at an all-time best. I actually don't feel anxious at all, is the way I would put it. And I now feel like I'm able to get into the zone a lot easier, allowed to just get things done much better. So is it all down to carnivore? I don't know, but all I can say is this is how I was before versus how I am now. And now I feel like my brain is much more silent, much more focused, much more clear. So if you're someone who has ADHD, possibly anxiety, like I said, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a psychologist, but all I can tell you is from the perspective of what's happened with me, I've found it to be an extremely great tool in lowering the symptoms of ADHD. I'd love to actually understand the science a little bit behind it more and why, but the thing that I go back to is that it's removing this dopamine rush cycle and allowing me to lower the noise in my head, the overthinking, and just getting into a constant pattern of focus, clarity. So it's a win. Now, it's one of the key reasons why I'm going to continue doing carnivore. Yes, it's been great for weight loss and building muscle and all those things, but the key proponent for why I continue to do carnivore is for the mental side and the mental upside attached to it. I'm 46 years old, almost 47, and from a mindset, a confidence, a anxiety, an ADHD perspective, I'm in the best place I've ever been. And I wouldn't trade that for anything. And if it's purely just from eating animal-based products, that's a win. And a win for me, and a win for anyone who's looking for a solution to alleviating their symptoms and effects of ADHD on their body. and mind predominantly. That's all I want to chat about through this video, is the upsides attached from a mental side, specifically on ADHD symptoms. If it's something you're considering, I'd suggest doing a little bit more research into it, but I'm sure you'll find that there's plenty of information out there showing these upsides. There's a doctor, I can't quite get her name, psychologist, who's been doing work on this, yet hasn't really gone mainstream, but there's definitely siloed experiments demonstrating how, I think it's a combination of ketogenic and carnivore diets, and how they're really helping in the mental health space across ADHD, anxiety, depression, all these things. And I truly think it's something they probably should investigate a little bit more, is how what you're eating and your gut makeup really affects what's up here. And I think we really undercook exactly its importance, your dietary intake and its effects on your mental state, mental health, and all those things. So if you've got any questions from an ADHD perspective on carnivore, definitely leave a comment below. Thanks for watching this video today. Hopefully you got some help from the perspective of not just from a weight loss side of things in regards to carnivore, but also the mental health and well-being upside that it does from having a carnivore diet. Thanks for watching again. My name is Jay. Thank you. Catch you around.